Hello everybody, Destin the Gamer Gecko, and today we're going to be talking about the Crown of Sorrow raid for Season of Opulence coming out June 5th, tomorrow at this date. So I want to talk about this because I read the lore and it's very interesting. So to start with this, we need to go to a certain character, a certain person that's been talked about a lot in the lore, and that person is, of course, the Emperor himself. The one that is of opulence. I am of course talking about Calus, the true emperor of the Cabal. He was banished by Gaul, and now we have this kind of story that's going to happen with him. Now, to catch you up on Emperor Calus, Calus was a character who was introduced in Destiny 2 as the raid boss, and a character that was kinda in the background. Calus is known for in the lore to be the true Emperor of the Cabal. However, after the Praetoriate, a group of Cabal militaristic imperialists decided to overthrow him alongside Dominus Gaul, Calus was banished aboard the Grand Leviathan and thus sent to deep space until he encountered a void of nothingness that overrided the ship's controls, and now Calus seeks to gain other species' loyalty through various means. Some means he does bribe, as with one character, Secris the Baron of Shanks. He told him that he could offer him power greater than the Traveler. Thus, Secris betrayed the Ever-Fallen and joined up with Calus. But a lot of times Calus will threaten not only a species, but a group of people. Calus is, of course, very interesting in the lore because these people that he kinda forces or bribes to join him are called the Shadows of Calus. Assassins that are to hunt down the Praetoriate and Dominus Gaul and the Council. 3 of the Praetoriates are dead, so are the Shadows. I'm not going to talk about the lore of the Shadows nor the lore of the Praetoriates, because even though, yes, they are part of Calus's lore, we're looking more to what Calus is doing and how that affects us, the Guardian. So, after the death of Dominus Gaul by our hands, Calus invited us to the Leviathan to take part in some kind of game where we are able to slaughter any amount of Cabal, but we had to pass certain trials. And all of this was to see if we were worthy of becoming Shadows of Calus, which again, you might think that's a weird kind of option to throw at us. However, after I explain the lore, you might think differently of what's going on. So, to start with, when we fought Calus in the raid, it turns out it was a robot duplicate that was to offer us powers beyond the Traveler. However, instead of taking up on the offer, we took our loot and we left. But during the Curse of Osiris expansion, the Grand Leviathan was clogged up, and it turns out there was a planetary core inside it, which was a Vex mine that we had to destroy. And the last time we heard of Calus was during the War Mine, or the Worm God Soul's Awakening, where Falcaor, a Cabal commander, decided to take up the reins of Gaul's old army and attack the Grand Leviathan and Calus. This brings on a whole new problem that Calus now thinks that we are ready for what's going to happen, and it's heavily suggested that during the season we might have another Allegiance quest like Season of the Drifter, where, of course, if you remember correctly, in Season of the Drifter we were offered the side of the Vanguard or the Drifter. Now, this game brings on a whole new possibility. However, these lore cards I'm about to read not only will reveal that Calus might have a very dark intention of trying to make us join, but some of his shadows are not given fates such as grand as ours. So I'm going to read to you the Cabal Loyalist band transmission, which was released 13 hours ago in the state, of course, and we're going to kind of learn what Calus wants. So to understand what this is, in the Destiny universe there is a hidden group called the Owl Sector that basically finds hidden threats and tries to basically expose them. So as we see with this, we're gonna find out a little bit more. So Cabal Loyalist band transmission type Owl Sector intercept. Cabal Loyalist band transmission audio unavailable. They call themselves hunters, scouts, survivors scavenging from races older and nobler so that their people might rebuild what they've lost. They call themselves titans, soldiers, killers, slaying the enemies of humanity so that this city might live one more day. They call themselves warlocks, martial philosophers, harbingers of light, scholars searching for meaning when all is already lost. The machine god abandoned them long ago. They don't understand yet, but they are, all of them, so much more. It falls to you, my loyalists, to show them the way. You've met them, you know their confection, so I unleash you. Hinder them, topple them, teach them pain. They will only ask for more, and they will grow stronger for it. When they are ready, we will open the menagerie to them. Even the greatest lights have yet to explore that ancient deck. I want them to see where our journey out of exile began. Gaul and his conspirators meant for the menagerie, for the Leviathan itself to be our tomb. But Gaul could not predict what we would find at the Black Edge. He could not foresee that we would grow fat from strength. I call on that strength now. One last time, before the Black Edge claims us. Make no mistake, they will take your lives. I know you give them gladly. Your sacrifice shall spark the shadows of earth. Now this reveals again that Calus wants us to join him. He wants us to be part of this shadow group or assassins, but at this point, instead of being assassins, we are going to be more of a military elite in Calus' army, where Calus basically wants us to join him before the Black Edge, aka the darkness, comes and destroys our solar system. Now, a lot of people will, of course, be happy about this, because, of course, everyone wants to join Emperor Calus, because he is, indeed, dummy thick. However, a new problem arose a few hours ago, where a new lore tab on Twitter was released called Am I to Cast a Shadow, which at first a lot of people might not expect much from it, but this actually explains what threat we're going to face from the raid, and in a way it was Calus' own doing and possibly foolishness that led to the raid, which, if you haven't seen the trailer already, the raid reveals that it's going to be a hive-based raid, of course, on the Grand Leviathan. And instead of being another test like usual, it seems that it's going to be more of an infestation type, leading to a new threat, which surprisingly, reading from the lore, this is not going to be a hive creature, but a scion unit. So let me read this to you now, explain why this is an interesting concept. Am I to cast a shadow? Galvan knelt before his emperor in a chamber of gold. Every surface reflected a resplendent sheen that blinded him. What is this place? He asked. Many things, Calus replied, lounging with his cheek in his palm. This chamber once held an Archborn, the only one of her kind to leave the interstellar conduits of a people. It is the place where Phallus Nor earned her shield and trial by combat. Shadows were cast here, history made. Am I to cast a shadow? Yes. You were bred to be a sorrow bearer. I seek a hive, Commander. But those are not so readily available, so I may do. The council says the hive cannot be contained. They worry. Calus raised an eyebrow. Who among them? Councillors Ral and Faloran. The Emperor shook the golden chamber of his gavaw. Only a few hours old, and already your words have killed two. Galvan pondered what his Emperor could mean. "I will enjoy you," Calus said, and keyed a hidden control on the armrest of his divan. The ceiling shrieked as it opened like an eye. Galavan craned his neck to stare at two hovering counselors, descended with a massive plated helm from the vast iris above. He could hear a litany of voices shouting down at him from inside the thing as it slowly descended. He thought they sounded like warnings, but there were no discernible words in the speech. "What is that?" he asked his emperor. Calus finished the royal nectar in his chalice before belching. "Your crown." Galvan thought he could glimpse a faint violet glow inside the helm as it drew nearer. "Isn't it beautiful?" Calus asked, as the voices echoing from the helm grew louder. "No," Galvan replied. He thought he should run. He tried to stand, but he found that he could not, rooted to the floor before the Emperor's throne by the will of the counselors. "I do not like this," Galvan said. "This," said Calus of the counselors crowned Galvan, "is why you were born." The violet interior filled Galvan's visions. "What does it feel like?" asked the Emperor. "Fear," Galvan said. Calus must have responded, but Galvan couldn't hear him over the cacophony of voices. He suddenly found that he could not see, through 100 billion eyes, that he could eat with teeth enough to consume entire systems. He felt beautiful. Now, as you've obviously learnt, Galvan was bred to bear a crown of sorrows, which sorrow usually means a kind of hive-infected weapon or object in the universe, like thorn, touch of malice, whisper of the worm, all weapons of sorrow, created to be wielded by guardians, but offering a corrupt path because of it. Now, obviously, Calus could not have a shadow from the Hive race, so of course he got a Scion. And the Scions are a race of, well, obviously psionically powerful aliens that do have the capability of mind control and other things including the mind, like telekinesis, levitation. However, Calus has created a threat. Like Hyrax the Mindbender, this creature now has control of the Hive, but unlike Hyrax, it's unknown what its true goal is at this point. However, judging from the trailer of the raid, it is possible that Galvan, in retaliation to Calus's offer, has decided upon himself to become the Emperor's bane, to kill Calus and possibly further the Hive's goal of consumption of destruction and spread of darkness, and of course the death of the light. So this is quite interesting because this is going to be the first time where we have a raid, well, not the first time, but a raid where one enemy race is going to be being controlled by another enemy race. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, The Last Wish had the Ahamkara as the main boss. Well, technically, Riven was a taken Ahamkara, and that was a taken raid. But this is going to be the first time where we now face a Scion, a Cabal member, controlling the Hive. Of course, the Hive are their own species, and a very powerful one. And this brings on a new interesting lore question. Why does Calus seek to control the Hive, and how is he able to make a weapon of sorrow, or at least an object made with sorrow's power? Again, this brings on many questions that hopefully tomorrow, after the first raid team completes it, we will find out. Now, of course, I will not be able to do the raid, nor will I be able to stream it, because first off, I have no friends, RIP, and because tomorrow I am going to be busy. However, I do encourage people that do play Destiny and are at 700 light to try and complete the raid, and if you can, best of luck to you. However, that's kind of all the time we have now. We are drawing near to the end of the video, so I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to do more stuff like this. Hopefully again tomorrow, if one of you manages to beat the raid, well, congratulations. If not, remember that Bungie is kind of pulling a BS move for the raid. However, I am not going to get into that, so thank you guys for watching. I am Destin the Gamer Gecko. I will hiss you later. And like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.